Okay, so my experience with the series has only been with Just Cause 2. I remember renting it from Blockbuster. Yeah, I know, Blockbuster. I beat it and I remember enjoying my time, but I don't think it was enough for me to remember that I played it until Just Cause 3 came out. So I don't remember specific details of what made me enjoy the second game and the $5 I spent renting it. Playing Just Cause 3, I feel like I need to go back and play Just Cause 2 because I feel like I'm missing something. It's like, it's all a big joke. It's a huge sandbox where you can make things go boom with an extremely dated design. It's like they're doing it on purpose because in the game they actually address that you're doing the same thing over and over and over.
Let me guess.
Exactly like before.
Like the enemy in this game is called DRM, while in the game you actually have sort of online DRM. When you get disconnected to the server, oh my gosh, get ready for the pop-ups!
This is what you have to sit through every time you boot the game. You watch Rico Suave here relax on a quiet, nice beach, looking at something go boom in the distance. Then it logs you in. Then it loads the game. Once you finally end up at the start menu, you can now go inside your options or start the game where you left off, which is kind of cool. But the whole process takes almost 2 minutes on an SSD. It's like starting up an old laptop. Now, it's definitely not all bad, but this game gives a bad first impression. The first 20 minutes of the game makes it feel like it was made years ago where these pointless gameplay interrupting cutscenes were acceptable. And it doesn't only happen in the beginning of the game, but throughout the entire game.
Get over yourself, Rodriguez.
Nope, I'm not gonna cut it. You guys are gonna live through it just like I did. Feel that tension build up. Amazing.
Cover me. I'll start downloading the files.
I think the worst part is when you're about to do some cartoony, cool action hero stuff, a cutscene plays instead. And the cutscene doesn't even justify itself. At least the characters, even though they're over the top, are quite enjoyable. They kick in quite a few amusing lines in there just to turn that frown into a lukewarm smile.
Look at the hips. Look at the hips.
What are you doing?
The story is straightforward. Action hero comes back to save his homeland from a bad guy. Throw in some cartoony racist friends.
Simmer down, amigo.
I'll see you around, amigo.
Action hero one-liners.
Adios, amigo. Didn't even break a sweat. That all you got? Oh, did I do that?
And too cool for school Rico always turning his back away from the camera at the end of every cutscene. And you have yourself a mediocre story. It almost seems that it was chopped into the game, violently. And sure, you're a sexy, rough, macho man Rocky Balboa that blows up a whole city full of innocent people and then says, it's for the people.
I think you might learn something yourself,
Belongs to
huh?
the people again.
This is not meant to be taken seriously at all. Okay, let's just forget everything else. This is not the next game of the year. I think we all know that. This is just pure sandbox fun. And that's what it does well. The amount of fun you're gonna have is gonna be gauged on your creativity. The huge nasty problem about the early game is that all the cool stuff is locked behind challenges. And I'm gonna make it very simple for you guys. You do two things in this huge map. Liberate towns and do challenges to unlock upgrades. And no, other than a few unique missions, story quests are just a variation of the same thing. Getting enough gears from challenges unlocks your fun, like being able to tether more objects or giving you explosives that act as rocket thrusters. But one of the biggest offenders that should be in the game from the beginning is precision aim. How do you take out aiming down your sights and put it as an upgrade. And it's a linear progression path. You can't just simply pick the ones you want to unlock. You have to keep liberating towns to unlock challenges to unlock upgrades. I had to liberate towns over and over again. I got burnt out before I unlocked anything cool. Homing grenades? Not until you complete your challenges. It's like mom telling you have to eat all your veggie before you can get some sweet banana bread. Thank God the challenges are actually quite good, except for the plain challenges. Don't play those unless you want to rethink why you spent $60 on this game. It's almost intentionally horrible. Other than that, I genuinely had a blast with the wingsuit challenges. Once you get used to how it controls, it's flawless and extremely satisfying to get right. And the controls can feel a little funky at first. You can't even run, but quickly you learn you don't need to run. You can just grapple hook everywhere like Spider-Man. And once you get your wingsuit, cars become irrelevant as well. I don't even know why you can even put them in a garage. Personally, I don't even know why you even have a garage. All the cool stuff is mission locked. The only thing it's good for is when you unlock goodies by liberating the Earth, you can call down a care package like Call of Duty, which could be fun.
You'll have to do it better than that.
Anyways, you have guns that shoot people. This is not one of Just Cause's strengths. Later on, the enemies become sponges and it's more efficient to just hang them. The dumb AI doesn't help this shooting gallery. They can't even drive without crashing into each other. And what's the cherry on the top? They spawn right behind you constantly. And when I say right behind you, I mean they're breathing down your neck. You realize this when you start liberating towns and it's just going to be the same mechanics over and over again. You're forced to do these liberations to continue the story. To liberate a town, you have to destroy a checklist of property, speakers, statues, and the ever-elusive propaganda vans. I think this is where I lost my damn mind. You don't have a mini-map to tell you what to destroy. All you have is this icon list that tells you nothing. So you have to pause the game repeatedly and look at the map to see what you're missing. Oh, and pray that you're connected to the server, because every time you pause, it tries to relog into Square Enix. I'll forgive this one. I'll forgive this one.
Those DRM bastardos.
Basically, you're gonna be spending most of your time shooting red objects, and at first it's fun, but then it starts repeating itself, and so does the story missions, to the point that they address it.
Ah, this looks kinda familiar.
How do you make a game so freaking cool? This beautiful, huge map, these fun challenges, the wingsuit mechanics are godlike. And then sometimes you have this action hero moment. Like this type of game doesn't exist. This doesn't come out anymore. And then they just drop the ball on their foot. How? This is not Red Faction, when destroying things and seeing things fall apart, whole buildings, is most of the fun. No, there's only so much you can do in a game where you can just make things explode.
This is pure insanity! I saw you coming in on the plane, and you were like, bah, bah. It was incredible!
I can't recommend this game at full price. This is one of those games where you go into GameStop and you go in the bargain bin and you pick one out and you're like, oh yeah, I can go home and make things go boom boom, because boom boom is fun. This is one of the most puzzling games I've played all year. Like, it's not broken, it's not a bad game, it's just the design choices. Even though I have a lot of bad things to say about it, I still squeezed out a lot of fun. But sometimes I feel like I'm squeezing a prune instead of a plump orange.